Missing just one of these money traps could quietly drain $578,000 from the average middle-class family's wealth over their lifetime. That's not a made-up number. According to the latest Federal Reserve data, massive gaps in net worth exist between people who dodge these traps and those who don't, sometimes by more than $249,000. Which side are you on? If you're feeling stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle, or you worry you'll never get ahead, this is for you. I'm breaking down, step by step, how to spot and escape the 10 biggest financial mistakes silently robbing your retirement and freedom. From invisible interest drains to the $400 per month decisions that add up to $125,000 lost. I'll show you real examples, the math behind the traps, and the specific moves to reclaim your wealth starting today. Ready to see which ones you're falling into and exactly what to do about it? Let's dive in. Let's jump into the countdown. Number 10 is one of the most common pitfalls I see, and it's one that affects nearly every long-term financial outcome you care about: not knowing what you're invested in. Now, why does this matter? Here's a reality check. Over 30 years, the money you grow from your investments, thanks to compound interest, could dwarf everything you set aside from your paycheck. To put numbers on this, let's say you invest $10,000 and add $500 every month for 30 years. If you average a 7% annual return, you'll finish with $682,000. If you get 10% a year, which is close to the historical average of the S&P 500, you end up with a mind-blowing $1,260,000. That's a $578,000 difference. All from choosing an investment that's 3% higher in annual return. Source: Vanguard, 2023, Federal Reserve, 2022. Let me pause you here. Are you certain you know the exact funds or accounts your money is in, and what the realistic upside and downside are? Too many people take advice from friends who aren't financially stable, or blindly trust a professional without understanding the fees, the risks, or even the type of assets they actually own. This is gambling with your financial future, not investing with confidence. Here's exactly what to do. 1. Log into every investment account you have and list out every fund, stock, or product. 2. Look up the expense ratio, the fee for each one. 3. Compare your holdings to a low-cost broad market index fund, like VT-SAX or an S&P 500 ETF. 4. Google their long-term returns, 10 and 30-year averages. 5. If you can't explain to a 10-year-old why you own it, pick one fund you want to research this week. Even just doing steps 1 to 3 can easily add $100,000 to your lifetime wealth. And don't worry, we're just getting started. Number 9, actively trading. I get it. A lot of us are wired by social media or headlines into thinking the best way to win with investing is to outsmart the market, to catch the next hot stock. Time when to get out before a crash and jump back in when things seem safe. The data shows that even the pros can't reliably do this. Sure, household names like Warren Buffett or Peter Lynch have outperformed for decades, but that is exceptionally rare, even for the experts. For those of us not managing billions, emotions, transaction fees, and capital gains taxes can quietly eat up your returns. According to Dalbar's 2023 research, the average investor in actively managed mutual funds earned about 5% long-term returns versus 10% for the S&P 500. Source: Dalbar, 2023. Overlay on a screen for transparency. The temptation to buy and sell on every market swing is strong, but the cost is real. Remember that $500 per month for 30 years at 10%. If active trading, plus fees, plus poorly timed decisions, drops you to 5% instead, you finish with $418,000, losing $842,000 compared to staying put in a broad market index. That's the price of trying to be smarter than the system. If you've ever bought high and sold low, drop a quick money emoji in the comments. You're not alone. Here's the better move. 1. Pick a diversified, low-cost index fund. 2. Automate your contributions monthly. 3. Tune out the noise. Check your balance no more than once a quarter. Don't worry, we've got a micro case study on this. After Trap 8, I'll share how Sarah, a viewer just like you, stopped trading and grew her net worth by $125,000. But first, number 8, not tax planning. Most people spend hours fretting over saving 50 cents on gas, but miss the fact that taxes are likely their single largest expense, often more than housing or transportation. Believe me, you can absolutely keep thousands or even tens of thousands more per year with smart, legal tax planning. Here's what high net worth families do differently. They use tax-advantaged accounts like 401ks, IRAs, and Roth IRAs, which defer or eliminate taxes on growth. If you're self-employed, SEP IRAs or solo 401ks can shelter even more. On the real estate side, mortgage interest, property taxes, insurance, depreciation, and repair expenses all help lower your taxable income, sometimes significantly. Source: IRS Guidelines, 2023. Employees do have fewer ways to deduct, but maximizing what's available adds up. Don't leave your employer's 401k or HSA match on the table. In some cases, business owners can deduct health insurance premiums, a home office, and retirement savings, all reducing the income that gets taxed. It's easy to ignore this and overpay, but working with a CPA, even just for a 1-hour consult, can save you 20 to 30% or more in taxes each year. Source overlay: National Society of Accountants, 2023. That one move could put $5,000 or more back in your pocket annually, compounded over decades. Pause a second. Which tax accounts have you actually used in the last 2 years? Drop a comment if you're already using a 401k, Roth IRA, or HSA and tell us which one. If you're not sure, make it your mission this week to find out. Now, before we continue the countdown, here's Sarah's story. 2 years ago, Sarah was stuck in the high-wire act of buying and selling stocks, jumping at every headline, and not seeing her net worth move. She paused, shifted her focus to a simple index fund, and maxed out her Roth IRA. Over 15 years, that consistent $400 per month, her old car payment, turned into $125,000 more by investing steadily versus trading. The relief from not stressing about every market move was just as valuable as the dollars themselves. Overlay quick before and after line chart. Numbers illustrative. Results vary. See description, which brings us to number 7. Being unwilling to make changes. Change is scary. From our own comfort zones to family routines, most of us prefer the devil we know over the risk of something new. But financial progress almost always requires a willingness to do things differently, especially when what you're doing right now isn't working. Maybe the answer is moving to a lower cost area, getting a roommate so you can pay off your debt, or taking a new job that pays 20% more, even if that means a new boss and new city. These moves are never convenient, but almost every story of someone breaking out of the middle-class rut involves a decisive change, followed by a leap in savings or income. Ask yourself, am I truly pursuing every avenue that could move me forward? Or am I telling myself, this is just how things are for me, step by step? 1. List 3 areas you're resisting: change housing, career, expenses. 2. Brainstorm one change in each that could boost your annual savings by $2,000 or more. 3. Commit to testing one change, even if it's only temporary. Number 6. Not buying a house when it makes sense. Here's where the data is blunt. According to the latest Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances, 2022, the average net worth for a homeowner in the United States is $255,000. For renters, just above $6,000. Yes, that's over 40 times more wealth. And while correlation isn't the same as causation, real estate has a unique compounding effect. You build equity through paying down your loan while usually seeing appreciation over decades. Once that mortgage is paid off, you might enjoy stable housing costs for life, even as rents rise. Major advantages. 1. Every month you pay the mortgage. A portion goes to building equity, which you can later tap via a sale, a refinance, or a line of credit. 2. Home values usually rise with inflation, protecting and often growing your real wealth. 3. Home ownership opens new possibilities. You can rent out rooms, access home equity loans, or simply sell and downsize to free up a lump sum. Pause. Home ownership isn't for everyone. There are big risks: maintenance, market corrections, and liquidity. But for those who plan to stay somewhere 5 years or longer, don't overbuy and keep an emergency fund. It's statistically been a powerful wealth builder. Federal Reserve, 2022, overlay on screen. This is the halfway mark in our countdown. If this is opening your eyes, hit like and share this video with someone who should be a home owner but keeps hesitating. And don't forget to subscribe for new deep dive videos every week. Now, number 5, not taking risks. No one can get ahead while playing it 100% safe. That doesn't mean being reckless, but every major leap in income, opportunity, or happiness tends to involve at least some risk. If you want a bigger future, you must assess and accept the bond, measured risks, whether that's changing jobs, starting that side business, or investing outside your comfort zone. Even holding cash is risky. Just look at inflation. If your money loses 3% of its value every year in purchasing power, you're actually going backward by not putting your dollars to work. Bureau of Labor Statistics, average United States inflation, 2022 to 2023. If you're facing a major decision now, here's a plan. 1. Calculate the upside of the risky move. Best, worst, most likely. 2. Put non-negotiable floors in place. Save 3 to 6 months of living expenses, and always have a plan B. 3. Commit to reviewing your decision after 3, 6, and 12 months rather than expecting instant results. Here's a micro case study. Jake, one of my subscribers, wanted to start a small business but was afraid. He built up 6 months of savings, started his e-commerce shop on the side, and within 2 years replaced his old income. He risked stability, but he planned thoroughly, and it paid off. His backup fund was his confidence. At this point in the countdown, don't forget, if you want a printable checklist of these traps, plus the first fix for each, grab my free download below. It's helped hundreds of viewers stay accountable. Moving on, number 4, spending money because you deserve to. We all feel entitled to small luxuries: a car upgrade, a fancy vacation, a shopping spree, especially after a rough week or scoring a raise. But the line between a well-earned reward and a future-robbing splurge is thinner than it seems. The most common example: buying a new car you can't really afford, maybe $400 or $500 a month, just to keep up appearances. Did you know financing a $400 per month car instead of investing, it could cost you $125,000 over 15 years at just 8% returns? Source: personal calculation, 15 years at 8% annualized return. Lifestyle inflation is the hidden trap that keeps even high earners from building wealth. Next steps: 1. Pause before every big treat yourself purchase. Ask, if I invested this instead, how much would I have next decade? What would I be giving up? 2. Cap discretionary purchases at 10% of your monthly net income. Anything above that must be justified with clear savings or investing wins first. 3. Automate your investing first, then spend what's left over, never the reverse. Many in my community have told me this one change: automating their investing. Force them to feel wealthy and actually grow wealthy. Number 3, Claiming you don't care about money. Here's the truth. You don't need to be obsessed with being rich, but saying, I don't care about money as a badge of pride or rebellion will hold you back. Most people who make this claim spend 40 to 50 hours a week working, stress about bills, and make do with whatever leftover choices cash enables. If you say you don't care, you're unconsciously accepting limitations in where you live. What experiences you access, the time you have, and the people you help. The key distinction. You don't have to chase material things, but recognizing the freedom, peace, and options money provides is crucial. If you want to live life on your own terms, intentionally managing your money is a form of caring for yourself and your family. If you recognize yourself here, even a little pause and comment below. What's the number one thing you'd do with more financial flexibility? Number two, keeping the wrong career. So many of us are pressured from a young age to pick a path and stick to it. Even as the job market, our interests, and our income needs change over time. Too often, people end up in jobs or industries that don't suit their goals or pay as well as they hoped. Maybe you once liked your field, but now feel trapped by limited earnings or soul-crushing work. Or maybe you've always wanted to jump to a new industry or start a business, but were afraid to. It's never too late to pivot. A careful career switch can literally double or triple your earning power. You might need to go back to school, build skills with online courses, or start a side hustle to bridge the gap. Here's your step by step. 1. Identify what you dislike about your current job. Money, schedule, growth, meaning. 2. Research roles that pay more, offer better flexibility, or align with your values. Free sites, Glassdoor, PayScale, LinkedIn. 3. Build a 6 to 12-month action plan, save up, learn, network. Then pull the trigger when prepared. If you've made a successful switch like this, share your story in the comments. Your experience could inspire someone still stuck. And now, number 1. Thinking none of these will work for you. This is the ultimate self-sabotage. If you believe this only works for other people, you'll never even start. Here's the truth. Every improvement in someone's finances started when they let go of fatalism and got curious about what was actually possible. There are always options, even if they're difficult or inconvenient. Working a second job for a while, getting professional help, downsizing, or sacrificing comfort now for much bigger rewards later. Many people overestimate the pain of change and underestimate how quickly things get better with small, consistent action. Is building wealth easier for some? Yes. But using these suggestions increases your odds dramatically, no matter your starting point. Here's your action plan to escape the "it won't work for me" trap. 1. Pick the one trap above that felt most real to you. Don't try to change everything tonight. 2. Write down the first change you could make, however tiny. 3. Tell a friend, your partner, or share it in the comments for accountability. Quick recap of actions for the top 3 traps. If you're stuck not knowing what you're invested in, log in, list your funds, check expenses, and compare one fund to a 10-year average. If you're overtrading, switch to an index fund, automate, and restrict balance checks. If you're frozen from changing careers, research one better fit and set a 6-month mini goal. Finally, if you want all 10 traps and fixes in a checklist to print out, plus your first step for each one, grab the free PDF below and start your wealth building journey today. Reminder: every example, statistic, and amount in this video is for educational purposes only. Your outcomes will always vary. Investments involve real risk, and markets can go down as easily as up. Before making major decisions, consult a qualified financial advisor to assess your personal situation. For more guides, real numbers, and practical steps, subscribe to Mark Invests. Which trap was your wake-up call? Comment below and share with a friend. It could change both your futures. Let's quickly recap the path forward. The 10 money traps I covered today. ranging from not knowing your investments to believing nothing will work for you. Silently rob middle-class families of up to $578,000 or more over their lifetimes, but knowledge is only power if you use it. Here's what you do next, Today, pick the single trap that hit closest to home. This week, take a concrete step to address it, maybe logging in to check account fees, or downloading that checklist so you don't forget the rest. In the next 30 to 90 days, aim to make 2 more changes from the list. Tracking your progress with the printable summary. Grab it below. In 6 to 12 months, you'll be able to compare your net worth, reduced expenses, or improved investment growth against where you started. Not overnight, but with visible, measurable progress. Remember, most people won't change everything, but even skipping one trap can result in 6-figure improvements by retirement, especially when you follow the step-by-step actions. To stay on track and get the newest frameworks, subscribe to Mark Invests and turn on notifications. I've got deep dives coming on index fund strategies, career pivots, and maximizing tax-advantaged accounts with real-life case studies. If you haven't yet, comment below your biggest money trap and what you're ready to change. It helps you and others in our community spot and solve these issues. And if you'd like that free printable checklist for all 10 traps and fixes, tap the link in the description. Not financial advice. This is for education only, and everyone's situation is different. So always consult a licensed financial advisor for advice tailored to you. Thanks for being part of Mark Invests. Here's to escaping the middle-class money traps. Starting today.